On behalf of your host, Steve D, this is Bruce Buffer saying thank you for tuning in to Xtreme Lyfe. And now, this is the moment Xtreme Lyfe fans around the world have been waiting for. It's time!
They're possibly in the works, so
cool.
Hopefully get a cool fight sometime soon. Hopefully, yeah.
That'll be awesome, man. Hey, thanks for coming on today. I appreciate it. Just for I am here with Justin Montalvo, out of Law MMA, a pro MMA fighter. You're 24 years old. You're a lightweight. Your last fight, I think, was February 21st of 2020, where you in Ring of Combat 71, where you basically won in 36 seconds, which is pretty awesome. You're on a little bit of a streak right now, and you got a pretty impressive amateur record as well. And you just turned pro last year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All right, man. Cool. So thanks, man, for coming on. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time. So tell me a little bit about it, man. What got you into MMA? What made you interested in fighting and all this stuff you're into right now?
Yeah, I was I think I was in middle school when I decided I wanted to do like jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
Like I thought like a gi jiu-jitsu. And then I asked one of my friends if they knew about it. And then from then on, my cousin showed me. I would mess with him like around the block. We were joking around, and he threw me in like an arm bar, and I had to like tap out. He told me, and I was like, "Yo, that was really cool. Like, how do I learn how to do that?" And I was watching like Chuck Liddell back then and stuff, so I had like an idea.
Yeah.
So one of his friends, his name's Bam Bam. He's like 3-0 as an amateur.
Okay.
Frank Oyegi, his name is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was training with him, and he was just doing jiu-jitsu, and then he told me like, hey, like, you're gonna have to have like a base, like if you want to do MMA. Like, what do you really like? Where do you want your foundation to be?
Mm-hmm.
So, out of the top of my head, I used to love like Anderson Silva, Chuck Liddell. So I was like, I want to be a kickboxer. Like,
okay, all right.
So yeah, I was training like once a week with him, and then I was like, I fell in love with it. I was like, I wanted to do it more and more. So I think my dad helped me, and then I was able to go every day to Ray Longo's. He told me about Ray Longo's and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm 14 years old. Yeah.
You can't have a better striking coach than Ray Longo.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, and you know that. He's a legendary striking coach. So, I mean, you're in a great place there. And then, of course, Matt Serra's around that area as well. So you got the jiu-jitsu back, piece. In that gym. So, and a ton of killers, man. There's a ton of killers in that gym. You got a lot of really great fighters. Aljo Sterling, which is, who's going for the title soon, which is, awesome on December 12th. So you got a lot, and of course, James Gonzalez, also fighting for a title coming up. So you got a lot of great, and I'm of the school where, always hang around people that know more than you, right? Hang around the people that are that good, right? That are going to be able to teach you and show you a lot of stuff. Is that kind of your perspective too? I mean, hang around the guys that are doing it and that are killing it.
Yeah, I mean, ever since like that was the first idea, was to just go to a gym, and then luckily my friend just told me about Ray Longo's. I had no idea like how good it was until I started going. I was like, oh, this is a real deal. And then from then on, I'm like, I'm staying loyal to this gym. Like, I'm going to stay here and just get better and better. And that's been my mentality, just to staying with the guys and built a good relationship with my training partners, and we level each other up,
Yeah, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. You know, train up, not down, right? You want to train up. You want to train with people that are, you know, going to be able to show you more stuff. And, you know, and you know, I'm sure there's you know, I've been around there a little bit, and, you know, there's a ton of support in that gym, right? Ton of support.
Yeah.
There's like you know, really supportive of each other. And, you know, it's just really cool to have that. What made you decide now you have, you know, you were amateur for a while. What was that point where you decided, okay, I want to turn pro? Did you just get offered a fight, or was it something you said, I just want to turn pro, this is the right time?
No, I always wanted to turn pro, but my amateur career had like a lot of stuff in it. Like at first, I was kickboxing with Ray, and then there was this boxing trainer at the gym, and I thought it'd be good for my stand-up to go into boxing. So I talked to Ray about it. He's like, yeah, that'd be a good idea. So then from there on, I fought in the Golden Gloves right away. And I made it to the finals. And then I kind of like boxing a lot, so I wanted to keep doing it. So I racked up like 18 boxing matches.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I said, you know what? I think it's time to go into MMA.
Yeah, it's time to take
so,
out of the boxing realm and go straight up in MMA. Did you see Tyson Fury said that he would beat Stipe Miocic in an MMA fight? Did you see that? Now, I just heard that was something that came out. I didn't hear it directly from him at all, but I definitely seen the gossip going around. What do you think about that? It's an interesting statement, you know? I mean, a boxer. Yeah. You know, stating that. So, you know, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but
yeah, the thing is with that, like, I definitely feel like I had an advantage on people, and the good thing was that I did kickboxing first. I had like 8 kickboxing matches. Then I went to boxing, so I already had an idea of how to block kicks, and I did a little bit jiu-jitsu. But like going from someone that's like only boxing, and then going to MMA, it's like they don't know how to deal with the kicks. So he has to learn how to deal with kicks. He has to learn how to wrestle.
Learn how to get taken down and come out of that. Learn how to fight off your back. Learn how to fight. You know, I mean, there's a million ways. You know, that's the thing I always kind of go to is, you know, boxing is great. It's a super technical sport. I mean, I give it up to boxers. They're awesome. And I spend a little bit of time in that world, you know, talking to people in boxing. And one of my good friends is a guy named Ray Flores, who's a boxing commentator. Him and I talk all the time and, you know, talk about the boxing fights. But it is a different animal, right? It's not the same thing. You know, you got 2 weapons that you're using in boxing as opposed to 4 weapons plus ground game and leg kicks and all kinds of other stuff that you got to process and deal with, right? So it's a little bit of a different sport. You know, so.
Yeah, like we saw happen to James Toney when he tried that.
Yeah,
James Toney, right?
Yeah. Not so well. Didn't go so good.
He would need 3 years, I think, of training.
Yeah, you got to train for it. You can't just come in and say, you know what, I'm just going to come in as a boxer and step in the ring with the world's best heavyweight and think
I'm going to take it down right off the bat.
Oh, that's the first thing I would do. If I was Stipe, I'd be like, all right, he wants to stand and fight. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to drop him to the ground and I'm going to see what I could do on the ground with him, you know, if I was him. But, you know, that's, you know, we'll see what happens. I don't think it'll happen. I will definitely be watching if it does. I'll tell you that. It'd be an interesting fight. So what do you love most about fighting? What is it that, you know, really kind of keeps you going? What's the motivation here to keep fighting and keep going? Because, you know, it's
motivation. Yeah, I have all the motivation, man, in the world. Like my dad just helping me grind. And I really just want to be a champion, and I want to make money for my family, and I want to take over the game. I really been putting in a lot of work every day of my life since I was 14.
Yeah.
So pretty much I have all the skills, and it's just like it's all mental for me. As long as I keep doing good on the mental aspect, and I feel great, and the training goes great, and I feel like I could beat anybody in the world. So
no, that's great.
That's how you got it. That's how every fighter thinks, right?
Hey, well, yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever met a fighter who didn't say something similar to that. But you know, but it's true though. You're right. You have to think that way to be a fighter and be in that game. You can't go in there and think, you know what? Even if I train really hard, I'm going to get my ass kicked. Well, that's not going to work for you. That's not going to work at all. So you got to have that, that mentality where I could go anywhere. I could be the champ. I could do whatever I want to do. I'm going to get to the UFC, whatever, and I'm big on visualization, man. I'm going to tell you, if you want to get somewhere, visualize where you want to be and keep that in your mind. That's always where I kind of go with stuff like that. I think it's really important. And that being said, you brought up your training. What does that look like? How often do you train? Do you have it broken up as to ground game versus striking training? I'm sure you do in some ways. So what does that look like for you? What does a week look like in Justin's life?
Yeah, Ray Longo's is the best. It used to not be so MMA oriented, but Aljamain Sterling really got it. He's got MMA class now. So Monday, I take the MMA class. I'm helping Al. I went there in the morning with all his clients, and we wrestled now, and I teach them MMA. So basically every day I'm just working my MMA skills, working my cardio, working my boxing still, but mainly my wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I'm doing things like I never thought I'd be able to do wrestling-wise and jiu-jitsu-wise. So it's pretty awesome to see that. Like everyone, when they see me wrestling, like, oh, wow, like, they didn't expect that, so that's a great feeling, Well,
I think it comes from there's so much, and you had mentioned you're helping out with some classes and things like that too, and I think that's one of the things that people take for granted, right? I think sometimes, if you teach, it makes you better. Because it makes you keep going over the basics, right? It makes you keep going over stuff that and that's how you learn, right? Repetition. You get better from repetition, doing it over and over and over again, making it automatic. And I think teaching is such a big part of that, right? You learn and then you teach it, and then you get better, right? You keep getting better. So that being said, what would you say do you like to go toe to toe with a fighter and strike it out, or do you like to go to the ground? What's your favorite way to take on an opponent?
I like to just take it wherever it goes. If the guy wants to stand with me, then so be it. But if wherever I find myself in the fight, I just want to know that I'm gonna dominate that aspect. Like if I find myself in the standing clinch, dominate there, and just everywhere. I try to just get everything amazing. So no matter where it goes, I'll be ready.
Yeah, be a very well-rounded fighter, right? I think that's super important, to be super well-rounded. And then also, the technical end of the game, right? The strategy part, right? So if you're going up against somebody, I think a lot of it's self-awareness too, right? If I'm going up against somebody who, let's say, is a phenomenal striker, and I know my wrestling or my jiu-jitsu is better than that person, I'm going to want to strategize that to try to get that person to the ground the best way I can as soon as I can, so that I don't, so I don't take damage, and I could go where I'm comfortable and that person is not, right? Does that play a part in how you fight as well?
Yeah, I really like to think that I'm like the best striker in the world because of all the boxing experience I had. But I'm learning to that's why I'll keep it standing always, but I'll find myself in situations like the guy might take me down or he might try and clinch with me. And then from there, they don't expect me to dominate there too.
Yeah. So
I think they hear about my boxing and and all that stuff.
Yeah. You surprise the hell out of them on the ground, right? Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what's your biggest inspiration? What would you say your biggest inspiration is as a fighter?
Like, what do you mean by like
a person? Role model fighter. I know you mentioned Chuck Liddell a couple of times, but is that your inspiration or?
My favorite fighter, I love the Diaz brothers.
Okay.
And I love Conor McGregor.
Oh yeah.
What do you like guys like John Jones? I got so many people I love. I even like that new guy, Shemaev. He's man cool. He's destroying everybody. There's a lot of good guys. Adesanya, I really like him.
Yeah, Israel Adesanya is phenomenal. He's also a great striker. Right? You're not going to find – I think he's one of the most technical fighters striking-wise out there today.
Yeah, he has so much experience.
He's just so good and so smooth, right? He's just so smooth in how he comes at you. What is it – if there was one thing you thought you needed to work on, what do you think that is? Just one thing.
Wrestling.
What's that?
My wrestling.
Your wrestling skills?
Yeah. Just so I can keep the fight standing. But as I keep going to Sarah's, I'm just like, man, I'm falling in love with jiu-jitsu too.
Yeah, no, that's a fun, that's a fun, sport, man. That's a fun, martial art. Jiu-jitsu is one of my, it's probably my favorite. I've been getting a little more into striking now, but like I said, I definitely like the ground game stuff. It's a lot of fun, and I think there's nothing in the world like getting somebody in that submission and having them tap. Right?
Yeah, it's cool too because you're able to just like kind of like relax and just have fun, and just when you get comfortable with it, it's kind of like it doesn't drain a lot of energy when you know how to do it right way.
Yep.
And yeah, it's fun, man. I like it.
When you learn how to roll and you're kind of just flowing, right? And it feels good when you're able to do that. So what separates you? What would you say separates you from other fighters?
My mental aspect.
Okay. Is that just focus? Just
my focus and my experience. So I think those two come together and create something deadly.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So visualizing your future, because we talked a little bit about that, right? What do you see? Let's say, where do you see yourself 5 years down the road from now? You're 24 right now. So let's say at 29, 30 years old, where do you see yourself in the fight game?
Fighting for a belt. Like fighting to get in line for the belt. Like I should be like right there. Like if I win that fight, then I'll fight for the belt. Like probably around that age.
So kind of becoming that contender, maybe number one ranked fighter in that division. Do you think about the UFC or?
Yeah.
Okay.
My goal right now is just go 3-0. I want three finishes, and then I want to go on the contender series.
Okay.
Just keeping it small for right now, Yeah. 3-0 is my focus, whatever organization finishes, and then get on the contender series. And I'm visualizing myself there ready. So.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome goal, and I'm big on that too, man. I think keeping it. Sometimes keeping it small and not making it too big and overwhelming is always a really good way to go. Like keep it like, okay, I want to get 3-0 in a professional record. Right now, you've got one professional fight, which you won in a very quick fashion. Like I said, 36 seconds. I think it was a punch that took I can't remember who it was, but took the person out. That's a great start in a professional record, man. That's a great debut in the professional fighting world. Who do you think's next for you right now? Is there somebody you have in mind that you want to?
No, right now I don't really have anyone. Honestly, whoever steps in is just who I'll fight. I don't have any call outs. I just want to keep smashing everybody.
Okay. Just keep going. You don't have it.
Whoever signs the dotted line.
Yeah,
it's just a body,
Yep. No, I get it. Is there anyone that let's think anyone at all, like at any time in your career, what would be a dream fight for you? Who would it be that you would get to fight? Now, this could be your hero. This could be anybody. Who would you like to see, and get in a ring with or get in a cage with and just go toe to toe with and fight?
Yeah, I know this would never happen, but could be probably just because my friend Al fought him, and I would like to try and avenge that fight for him and be the next guy to take him out.
Okay, all right.
I'm doing this for Al, my boy.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. And if he, the thing about, what do you think about him retiring? By the way, I mean that's pretty crazy, right? 29-0, and then retires right after the Gaethje fight last week. It's kind of created a little bit. There's a lot of buzz going on right now about that. But what are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think I think it could be like a good thing. You retire at the top of your game, leaves a lot of questions out there, really creates a lot of hype. Maybe for a comeback, come out of retirement at some point and make a ton of money coming out of out of retirement. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I didn't really expect that. I thought I wanted to see him fight GSP.
Oh yeah.
And maybe Tony, but after I saw Tony lose to Gaethje, I was kind of like, I don't think Tony will pose a threat that much.
Yeah.
Because you saw how Khabib handled Gaethje, and then like just to see Tony get destroyed by him, I was like, yeah, I don't think he's ready.
It was a pretty one-sided fight when you had both of them actually were pretty one-sided. But watching, because that Ferguson fight was a fight that was cursed. I mean, I'm convinced that Ferguson fight was cursed from the get-go because it's been scheduled and rescheduled and scheduled and rescheduled. It just never seemed to happen. And then, of course, because of the pandemic, Khabib couldn't come out of Russia to come fight. And so they were scheduled with Gaethje. And to see what Gaethje made a mess out of him. He just made a mess out of Ferguson. And Ferguson's a great fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's a phenomenal fighter. But to see that kind of, stifled the whole fight. So now nobody really wanted to see that fight anymore, at least, for the most part. And people really wanted to see the Gaethje fight against Khabib. And a lot of people thought Gaethje had a good shot.
I thought so too.
A lot of people thought it. Even I think Khabib's manager was saying some things like they were a bit concerned if it stayed standing up. They didn't want that fight to stay standing up at all, which is smart because Khabib just he's an underrated striker. Don't get me wrong. He can throw, but his best work is always on the ground.
His striking might be just so deadly because everyone's afraid to get taken down. So, like, he could strike, like, how he wants. He's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He's going to shoot that takedown on you.
Yeah.
And people are just like, Like, even Gaethje was confused. He was like, he didn't know where the fight was going to go, and then he was thinking too much, and by the time he thought about it, he got taken down, and that mounted triangle was insane.
Oh yeah. It's just that Dagestani grappling is something special. I don't know. That's all I could say about it.
Those guys are strong.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what they're feeding those guys over there. But those guys out of that Dagestani province out there in Russia they're just something. They're crazy. They're made out of stone or something. I don't know. They're just amazing athletes. They seem to be impervious to pain. Even it's kind of interesting watching those guys and even how they train. But it was definitely an amazing. It was a great fight. But like I said, it's one of those things where I certainly was like, when I heard, Khabib say he was retiring, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Now you're
like Cejudo, right? Cejudo did that too.
Yeah.
When Cejudo did, I was like, wait, what? You're retiring? Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Well, the thing about retirement is you can come out of it. So, I've seen people, I think, who was it? Oh God, I can't think of the name now. Well, I know Ken Shamrock retired a few times and came out of it. I think Chuck Liddell even came. I think he retired once and came back, or twice maybe. Randy Couture. I think he retired like 4 or 5 times and came back. So
Like, he was fighting so old. He's crazy.
Oh yeah, I think it was like was 40 something when he fought his last fight. 46, 47 maybe.
Did he win his last fight?
I don't think so. I don't remember. I can't recall. And that's shame on me because I'm a huge fan. But I don't recall what happened in the last fight. I just had Ken Shamrock on a long time, or not that long ago, a couple months ago. And he basically said to me, and he's 56, and he said, "I'll never retire." I was like, wow, he's the real deal. But he's into that bare knuckle boxing now, bare knuckle fighting.
Oh yeah,
Valor bare knuckle.
They're getting all the UFC vets on there.
Yeah, a lot of people are gravitating over to that, and we talked a lot about that when he was on. But yeah, it's he was definitely a cool guest to have on. It was definitely a hero of mine to have him on. Had an amazing career. The guy was 4-time heavyweight champ. I mean, that's pretty insane.
Yeah. He's a funny guy. He's cool.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, definitely a good guy. He has a lot of knowledge, very knowledgeable. And we talked a lot. Check out the podcast. It's out. It's up. It's been up for a while, and he was definitely a cool guest to have on. As are you, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So what's your week look like this week? You training a lot or just chilling out a little?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I got a little bit of a cold. I know it's scary to throw that word around because everything.
Yeah, cold.
Oh my God, you have a cold. Stay away from me.
Yeah. Well, colds don't mean you have COVID. So, I mean, that's the thing. But, it's good to be safe if you're having some symptoms and just kind of chill out a little bit. And
we got a lot of guys fighting at the gym, so I didn't want to come and then, get someone sick.
Yeah, good.
So I'm just staying away. And
No, it's a good move, man. Just get and maybe if you want, if you feel concerned, go get tested at a hospital or something. Make sure you don't have it, and because like I tell people all the time, and I spend a lot of time working in healthcare, and I'll tell you, if you're concerned, go get tested. But there are other things other than COVID going on right now.
Yeah.
People still get the cold. They still get the rhinovirus. People still get the regular flu.
Yeah, everything is corona. It's so annoying.
Yeah. It's all you hear now. So unfortunately, but you'll get better and you'll come out of it and you'll be training again in no time. What is there anything else? Anything you want people to know about you? Anything as a fighter people should be aware of?
It's just simple, man. I'm just gonna come through and just destroy everybody.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
That's it, man.
All right, that's awesome.
That's the plan. Just kill them all, get them all. Go out
and
raised and I just want to be able to say I chased my dreams. I gave my all when I'm real old and I'm, God forbid, about to pass away. I want to be able to be like, I tried. So I'm just going in there and going after it. No regrets.
No regrets, man. No regrets. Hey, that's a great place to end it. That's awesome, man. No regrets. That's the theme of this podcast right now. You're going to go all in. You're going to kick ass. You're going to go in there. You're going to take names, and you're just going to destroy the competition and have no freaking regrets at the end of the day. There you go, brother. I appreciate it, man. Hey,
thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much for coming on. You were an awesome guest, man. I will see you because I'll be up there every now and then hanging out at the gym. So
we'll get some training or something,
Yeah, we'll do some stuff. You'll kick the crap out of me a little bit. Fun. All right, man. Listen, hey, it's been great having you on. I just want to tell everybody, check out Justin. Awesome fighter. He's going to be great out. He's off to a great start as a professional. Definitely another fighter to watch. I've been having a lot of, I'm following a lot of you guys right now that are just coming up and you guys are just impressive, man. Impressive stuff. And just keep going. And we're going to keep, you and I will talk again, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. You'll see me again, man.
Absolutely, my friend. Be good.